There's been a lot going on in the NBA. As we all know, we had a shock the world moment with Luka Doncic going to the Lakers. It has me to thinking about why do the Lakers always get the best players? As far as when you look at history, since Wilt Chamberlain played, they've been getting these great players. They just had the luck of the draw. Maybe it's location, maybe it's legacy, but you let me know in the comments. We're going to talk about it and cover the sports. So, of course, as of recent, 25-year-old superstar known as Luka Doncic, playing for the Mavericks, is now playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. And many stories are coming out. A lot of speculation, of course, with the media and just the public, and people wonder why they made a trade such like that. But it just stirred a pot for me mentally as I got to thinking about, man, what's it about the Lakers that they finesse these deals or attract these players, these managers to call and try to make something happen? Because right now they're not really a great team, but of course they got one of the greatest players of all time, and he's going to go down as possibly the greatest player of all time. But you see what's going on in the background, so that's what's going on right here. But back to the story. The Los Angeles Lakers, they happen to play in a great city such as Los Angeles, even though it's expensive and it has its problems. It's an old franchise and it's been around just like the New York Knicks have been around or the Boston Celtics have been around. They just don't attract the great players. They never got a Shaq in free agency, I don't believe, a player of that caliber who's just going to dominate, change the fate of your franchise. They've never got a player on that level. Or the Knicks, they really don't acquire great players like that. At one point, they did get Carmelo, but that was similar to a hometown thing. He wanted to go back to the East Coast where he was from, so rightfully so, and he did his thing on the Knicks. But the Lakers always come out on top historically when it comes to acquiring great players. Even when you look at the recent decade or a little bit before with Dwight Howard coming to the Lakers or Steve Nash, even though Steve Nash was on the tail end of a Hall of Fame career with the Suns, and before that, the Mavs, and he was on the Suns again before that, but he had a great legacy. Left the Suns for a Lakers, position on the roster, but that didn't work out as he had injuries. But he's another player you can add to the list of great players who played for the Lakers. Gary Payton, they had Karl Malone. I think at one point they possibly could have got John Stockton in that deal, but John Stockton, he strikes me as a real old school guy, so maybe he just was comfortable in Utah, but they could have had him, I believe. A lot of players probably entertain the idea of going to the Los Angeles Lakers, but what is it about that? Another point about that is it doesn't hurt to play with a player like LeBron. He's going to retire as one of the greatest, and that's going to help anybody or any team attract more players to join them and try to get some championships out of the ordeal. And maybe that's one of the reasons, but with Luca, we don't know yet. It's still real early, so I don't want to speculate. He's a great player. He does have his flaws. He doesn't play defense to save his life, but he's such a great player offensively that kind of overshadows it. And you got great defensive players on your team, which kind of compensates it. But that was exposed in the NBA Finals. But back to just the Los Angeles Lakers, they also shared that similarity with another franchise in Los Angeles, which is, drum roll please, or please, bloopers, Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers got Shohei Ohtani. He's a great player. Probably going to be, after Mike Trout, he's obviously the guy of this decade, as Mike Trout was the guy of the last decade. But this is one of those things where they got Shohei, they have another young player, and then they had Mookie Betts, from the Red Sox before that, and that was the Red Sox best player. So that was just crazy to see. Man, these Los Angeles franchises, they always get the best players. I don't know if it's the living, in a nice city and it's luxuries, pretty women, or, I know it's not the taxes and the cost of living, because it costs just to breathe out there, feels like. But who knows what it's about? Let me know in the comments. That was just something I wanted to talk about. But in the conclusion of that, I think big cities just always win when it comes to gaining these great players. Whether it's a Houston Rockets, is going to be a Miami Heat. They're not a Miami's not a super big city, but it's a major city. It's a popular city, party city, and it happens to be in Florida. It was, cost of living is pretty cool, and it's a great tax friendly place. So that's just what I have for this video. Why do the Lakers always get the best players? Even in the '80s, they had Bob McAdoo, a former MVP, And that kind of mirrored how the Celtics had Bill Walton, who was also on the tail end of his career, and he was a great player for the Trailblazers, who ended up winning a championship in the 70s. But enough, I don't want to overload. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. We got more content coming in this wave, just seeking to improve. Let me know any constructive criticism. I'd love to hear it. Good joke, I'm in for it too. But like and subscribe. Till next time, peace.